What's up everybody, how are you guys doing today? Welcome to another Heroes of the Storm video, and today we actually have something special because the MYI Versa Invitational has started, and it might sound a little bit complicated, but it's actually very simple. My Insanity and the website that they're currently running with VersaSphere.net, they have created a a very small invitational with 4 teams that are participating in the European area, and we are today casting the first best of 3 of that. As you can already see down in the description, it is Nexo versus Team Empire. In total we have 4 teams participating. It's a double elimination bracket. We have Nexo, we have Team Empire, we have Team My Insanity, and a secret team yet to be announced. The team has not been published yet, so it takes a little bit for that to happen. Should happen within the next few days, I imagine, and then we're gonna see who's gonna be the 4th team in the lineup. Our first team today is going to be Nexo versus Team Empire. Team Empire, you should be familiar with the team after we already casted a few of their matches. But Nexo, not really a team that you might have heard of just yet, so I'm going to enlighten you. It is the team of Lucifron and his brother Vortex. The 2 Spanish players have their own team. They've been playing Heroes for quite some time, and they will today also participate in this match. A best of 3 that we have there. If you want to have a look at the bracket, go to VersaSphere.net and check it out. There's a bracket in there. There's also a bit of a matchmaking bot that can help you if you're a full team to find other teams to scrim against. So it's actually a pretty cool website that they're currently creating there. Also a lot of guides planned in the future, so definitely check that out. For us, it means a lot of content. We have a lot of Heroes of the Storm games coming your way, with the Invitationally, of course, especially. And we're going to jump into the first game here right away. We have a best of 3, as already mentioned before, so it could go a long way. But game number 1 is, if I'm not mistaken, on the Haunted Mines. I'm pretty sure that was the first map, so we're going to jump into that right away, have a closer look at the hero selection of the teams, what kind of strategy they're trying to play here, and of course I'm going to tell you all about the picks and the bans as well. So see you in the game in just a second, guys. So, in the game itself, we have indeed the Haunted Mines. It's the map number 1 in the best of 3, and let's have a closer look at the lineup for both teams. Starting with the blue team, we have to the left side Fabio with the Stitches. That's one of the heroes that he just loves to play. We've seen him with that amazing hook against My Insanity just recently in one of the games that I uploaded. If you haven't seen that, definitely make sure that you check out the second game between My Insanity and Team Empire. Definitely worth a watch. Amazing moves by Fabio in this game. Noodles is once again playing the support here with the Rhaegar. We have Marco Win with the Zagara. BKB on the Tyrael. BKB actually a stand-in right now for Team Empire. He's one of the tryouts that they have to just determine their 5th player, and I guess he has pretty good chances of ending up being that 5th, but for now they are still rotating a little bit. Sefkaja is playing on the Tigers. I was told that you can actually shorten his nickname to Sefka, which is probably what we are going to do here. His standard Vala was already picked by the opponent's team, as we're going to see in just a second. Talking about the picks, I don't really know about the pick order, but I can tell you the bans that we saw there. We had Brightwing and Kerrigan banned in this match, and the Brightwing ban resulting in Vortex being an absolute fan of Brightwing, and they wanted to eliminate that. We had also a Kerrigan then taken out. And talking about Vortex's team already, let's take a look at the red team starting to the right side of the map here with Lucifron and Vortex, the 2 Spanish brothers. They both played Warcraft 3, they both played StarCraft 2, and now they're playing Heroes of the Storm. We have Lucifron with the Arthurs, Vortex with the Tacita here. Lolver60 is going for the Sonya, whereas Enro with the DPS hero, range DPS on Vala, and Whipshout with the Malfurion. So talking about team compositions a little bit, you can really see that for Team Nexo down here in the red, we have Vala as the main DPS, the range DPS in the game. Another source of damage added is of course Vortex with the Storm, but one of his tasks in the game is also to keep Vala alive and the rest of the team with the shields. The Archon form is something that he can supply then later on as well, whereas Whipshout in the back is of course going to be able to just heal his team up. We're probably going to see Tranquility here, given that we don't have too much of the heal in the game itself. Sonya of course can rely on a few abilities that heal her. She's a bit the initiator here. With the leap later on, she can just jump in, stun an opponent, and give the rest of the team an opportunity to catch up. Arthur's on Lucifron could just move in with a Howling Blast, trying to pin the opponent opponents down. He has a great sustain too, with a lot of healing abilities that make him just such a great warrior and such a great asset to a team. He's one of the strongest warriors right now in the game, and they actually have two of those, with Lucifron on the Arthurs and Lolver 60 on the Sonya. So a pretty well-rounded team that we see there. The DPS, the heals, the utility with the Tacita shield, and then also the front line with the initiation of Arthurs and Sonya. So a very, very difficult team to handle. But Team Empire has a pretty solid combination as well. Sevka on the Tychus didn't get his Vala pick, but he has played now another ranged DPS, and Tychus is one of the best DPS heroes that we currently see in the game, and he is also someone who with the grenades can just interrupt channeling ultimates. We have Tyrell with on BKB, and that is actually a hero that is very, very good for sniping, and once you have the judgment, you can just dart in towards an opponent and try to take him out. So I think that he's probably going to aim for Enro on the Vala or Whipshot on the Malfurion, trying to drop one of those heroes early on in the game or in the fight to make sure that the DPS is just missing on side of Team El Nexo. So he has a pretty difficult task to handle here. Needs to go in, take those heroes down, and that's of course what especially Tacita and Malfurion on the side of El Nexo are going to watch out for. When exactly is Tyrell going to engage, and how do we keep Vala or Malfurion, depending on who he charges in, alive. Marco Win with the Zagara, it's a great pick to just give a lot of vision. They had Haunted Mines here at the map. Keep in mind that actually the way that it works right now, we cannot choose maps. So the lineups that you see are drafted before the players know the map. And Haunted Mines is a map that is very peculiar in the way that it has to be played, because it's a 2-lane map compared to a 3-lane map. Therefore it's also a very small map, and that helps Zagara quite a lot with the vision. The problem that she has there is that she also just loves to push against an opponent's fort or against the towers, and she can't really do those solo pushes on a map like Haunted Mines this well, but there are a lot of close encounters in the middle of the map where especially her banelings are very strong. The Hydralisk is also a great tool for her. So Zagara definitely a very, very solid pick here as well, and with the vision, we've seen this in a few of the other games that are already commentated. If you plant those creep tumors across the map at strategical positions, then you have a very, very nice vision on the map, and you can always surprise an opponent or make sure that you are not going to be surprised while you're trying to take a mercenary camp. With the Rhaegar pick here, we are most likely going to see as the level 10 heroic ability Ancestral Healing, giving the combination that we have there. It's just one of those things that you can use to keep a very high priority hero alive. Tychus would be one of them. Sevka is going to rely on the healing quite a lot. A lot of other teams are trying to run with the Bloodlust combination. If you do that though, you want to have heroes that really do a lot of damage. Tychus is definitely one of those, but traditionally we see then also the Tacita in there with the Archon. We could see a Bloodlust and Tychus relying on the Odin form here, but it's a little bit more unlikely given that the rest of the team is not really just drafted towards that composition. It's definitely a possibility though, but I would expect Ancestral Healing in this game. Fabio on the Stitches, not really much to say about that. Stitches is a great hero at the front line, tanking the damage. He has with his slam also a really nice damage dealer, can then later on also supply the stun if he wants to. He would have to forego sprint though, so it's a little bit of a question of how you play him. Do you go for a full slam build and try to get the stun in there as well? It's awesome if you try to interrupt Vala's ultimate, if she goes for strafe that is, then you can really utilize that a lot. But of course with Fabio we've already seen him go for the hooks, go for the gorge, sprint to the back, and then try to just take one of the heroes down before the fight even started. So a very solid lineup for both teams here, and we're gonna see how exactly that unfolds, going straight into the match here on Haunted Mines. Game number 1 at the VersaSphere Invitational between El Nexo and Team Empire. And on Haunted Mines, of course, what we have here is that those two watchtowers are extremely important. If you can gank an opponent, then that's just like absolutely perfect for you, and that's what the teams are going to aim for right at the beginning, and trying to pull it off. We have a couple of mercenaries in the game that you can get. Zagara is a good hero to do that. On the other hand, we have with a Team El Nexo the Sonya that could, together with the Vala for example, get those golems early on, and we're going to see how exactly that's going to work out for the two teams here. As you can see, they both 5-man the watchtowers first, trying to find an engagement opportunity here, especially Fabio with a hook could supply that if he gets a good hook off. He's probably going to try. There comes already the, what did he use here? Use the Oracle for the vision, and that causes Team Empire to move back at least for now. Marco Win with the Zagara immediately for the creep tumors, as you would expect. I mean, that's exactly what we've been waiting for the entire time. You need to have that map vision, and Zagara is just great on a map like Haunted Mines to make that happen. We have up at the top lane Sefkaja together with BKB, the Tyrael and the Tiger's composition, whereas down as the bottom, Enro and Whipshout have to deal with Marco and Fabio and Noodles. A bit of a gank attempt already at the top here. Ancient Spear against the Tigers now as well. Sefkaya has a problem, and Sefka moving back, has to well up. So nice engagement that we saw already by El Nexo. Not successful, but at least dropping the hit points. And they have a little bit of space now to just roam the map, and that's exactly what they're trying to do here. Running into the creep tumor, taking it down thanks to the aura on the Arthurs, and that's the job that he will have to do throughout the entire duration of the game, most likely. Fabio moving in, trying to maybe look for a hook here. The entire team is converging towards the middle, and suddenly Sonya is caught out of position, shielded, and moves away with the whirlwind. Just gets away in the last second. No kills just yet, but a nice entangling roots on BKB. Moves back though, not being dropped here. So both teams looking for the first kill, looking for the first blood, not getting it just yet. The Watchtower is once again under control, and it's time to get the first mercenaries. The vision supplied by the Watchtower is helping out with that. And we have, on the other hand, Team El Nexo doing that as well, but just a bit later. They're gonna try and take those two. We have, especially with Arthas and Sonya, two heroes who really can do that quite easily. And Vortex is even helping out a little bit, as there's no experience to be gained on the top lane. So in case you're a little bit newer to Heroes of the Storm, experience is global. You are always on the same level with every single hero in the game, and you need to try and soak the XP on the lanes for that reason. So experience soaking is very, very important. That's why we usually see at least one hero present on the lane, unless you want to go for a 5-man fight. We have now down to the bottom a bit of a 4-man engagement, whereas Tyrael is holding the top line and soaking the XP there. BKB has to be careful though, but there's a mercenary push against him. The mercenary push down here at the bottom already is supported by Zagara's damage. Malfurion with entangling roots. The Hydra doing a bit of a MJ, trying to do the moonwalk here, but we have now Team El Nexo engaging with Sonya moving in immediately. Enro trying to supply the damage, and all the way at the front line, the Arthurs trying to tank it as well. Sonya with another Ancient Spear is moving in against the Stitches. Stitch is about to be dropped. Fabio goes down, but at the same time, Sonya bites the dust, and Arthurs also not able to survive here. So great engagement by Team Empire, dropping two heroes, getting a 2-for-1 in this situation. The engagement maybe a bit too overzealous by Sonya here on Team El Nexo, going for the Ancient Spear, dropping the Stitches, but then they trade 1 for 2, and not the ideal situation for them, but it's still level 5 versus level 5. We have now the rest of the mercs already taken. It's a Sonya and Arthas combination that can just really do so much damage to the mercenaries, and even Bala is helping out there. All the way at the top we have Vortex still soaking the damage, and he's actually trying to contest it a bit. He of course knows that Team Empire is also going to try and take their golems here, the mercenary camps. The mines are open, so he can now go down to the mines, take down those skeletons, grab the skulls, and then try to get a big golem. There are 100 skulls in the mines, and the more... Oh! Tacita goes down! A nice grenade that we saw from Sefka, taking that shot, and good drop. So a 3-1 in terms of the kills for now. We have 3 heroes defending at the top against the mercenary push that we see there. At the bottom we see the same thing now though for Team El Nexo, and Noodles is the only one who goes in and tries to defend, but BKB is jumping in and helps him out, whereas to the top we still have that engagement about to drop the towers, running out of ammunition already. Here comes Sonya moving in. Does she have the Ancient Spear ready? Not just yet. The hook missing by Fabio, and well, just for now they dropped those 2 goals, and that's it. So down in the mines, where you can get 100 skulls in total, we have also Marco Wynn starting to really get those thingies. He's trying to just use them as fast as possible, but they will need him up at the top. Sonya is still trying to look for a position here, whereas we have Vala soaking up the XP at the bottom lane. Level 7 versus level 7. You're trying to work towards that level 10 usually. And here we go, moving in. Oh, Lucifron with a nice Howling Blast against Fabio. Fabio in trouble, gets slammed, and here comes the whirlwind. Fabio is dead once again. Second death for the Stitches, as Team El Nexo now starts to converge down towards the mines, and that's of course a call that Marco Wynn has already heard about. He knows what's going on. He needs to be careful here. You see those skulls disappear on the map, and therefore Team El Nexo knows now where the Empire player is currently positioned. Sefka on the top, soaking the damage and trying to utilize his Tigers to at least push those waves back a bit. We have their Banelings all hitting Vortex here. Vortex trying to go for the dimensional shift, goes for
Marco Wind with another Storm. Here comes Sonya. Where's the Ancient Spear? Ancient Spear misses. Here comes the Slam being used. Seismic Slam. And also the Whirlwind doesn't look good for Marco Wind. He's being dropped. Goes down here. 3 kills versus 3. But Enro on the Vala is being ganked at the top and has no chance of surviving here. So another victory for Team Empire. They're currently looking at level 8 and now go straight for those mercenary camps in the middle of the map. The night camp is absolutely crucial. A high priority camp to get. Both teams usually trying to contest for it, but there's nothing really that Team Nexo can do about it at this point. With Vala out of the picture for just a few seconds, the opportunity arose, and the first thing that we saw from Team Empire was taking it. The one thing that they're neglecting a bit are the mines though. Sonya is getting a lot of skulls there, has to move back though as she realized that she's being needed here. Not only do the knights now push the bottom lane, but we're having another camp being taken. Lucifron is trying to move in here, but he's already low in HP. He doesn't have the level 10 to rely on the healing just yet. Vortex with the shield is helping his brother out, and the brother battle is real as they're battling the golems and taking them on. Jumping into the vision of one of the players, we're going to have a quick look at the skull count. It's 17 against 44 now. That's what we're seeing here. So a good golem for El Nexo so far, but their bottom lane is hard pressed here, and both of the turrets are currently down. They're actually 5-manning the bottom lane now, trying to push this back and maybe grab a kill. And that of course costs them a lot of experience at the top lane, where Sevka was soaking EXP. That provides Team Empire with a level 10. Both teams now at the level 10. And whereas we see a bit of a push happening here, with the teams moving in. Oh, nice hook against Lucifron. The Gorge being used. Sonya jumping in, dropping Marco Win immediately with a good stun here. Zagara is down already. The Maw has started. We see Sonya moving back with the Whirlwind. Fabio being healed here in the last second, but BKB goes down on the Tyrell. 2 heroes dead for Team Empire now. And the Archon form is helping Tacita for just a few seconds, but not enough. Tacita and Sonya both being dropped. Rhaegar going down as well. The entire Team Empire is being dropped here, except for Sevka. He's trying to move back, but being in hot pursuit. Oh, Malfurion with a last second entangle against Tychus. And that's a wipe right there. Good job by Team El Nexo winning this battle and going straight down to get the rest of the skulls. We're going to use this opportunity to have a bit of a closer look at the talents here at level 10. So what did the heroes do here so far? Fabio on the Stitches goes for the Slam build. We have him with the first and the second talent on Slam. Gets the Toxic Gas as well. Gorge as the ultimate. As already speculated earlier, Ancestral healing for the Rhaegar. For Noodles, he's focusing a lot on the healing and on the support here. Also not really a surprise. We've seen the Devouring Maw in action, whereas Judgment on Tyrell is also not really a surprise. BKB trying to just get that damage in there. We have Odin on Sevka going a bit more of a right-click build here, not really prioritizing his grenades or anything else, but just going pure right-click. For Arthur's also the Army of the Dead that just helps you. You can sacrifice those ghouls and get a few additional hit points. We have him with the Envenom here. Of course, the Frozen Waste, the radius of the Frozen Tempest is being increased. The aura just getting so much more effective by that. The Archon form, we saw that in the last battle when both teams hit their heroic abilities on Vortex. The leap by Sonya. And the one thing that I really have to say is that the way that Sonya is being played on Team El Nexo is a bit different. We usually see as the first talent the trait that gives you a bit of additional fury. Block is still something that you can get, and we've seen that several times. But a bit of an interesting move is here getting the Ancient Spear cooldown reduced by 5 once you're hitting an enemy. Because what we usually see is most Sonya players just relying heavily on the Slam. It just has an outrageous amount of DPS that you can dish out. So most players on 4 and 7 go for the Slam talents. Ferocious healing is still something that we see quite often, but this is a bit of an interesting pick that we see here on level 4. So it's very surprising not to see the Slam talent being chosen here. For Vala, pretty standard build, nothing too exciting. Rancor being used, Manticore, Searing attacks, and Strafe. So a mass DPS build here. For Enro has no real sustain, no healing abilities, didn't pick anything of that up. So it's really going to be the job of Vortex on the Tacita and Whipshot on the Malfurion to keep the Vala alive. And of course positioning for Enro is going to be a very, very important thing as well. For Malfurion down here we have Tranquility being picked up for the heals. And as mentioned before, that makes a lot of sense here, of course. the silence, the global silence, not really the global silence, but the AoE silence is quite strong as well, but the tranquility here definitely keeping the team alive. 6 kills for Team Empire, 8 so far for Team Nexo, especially the last fight helping them a lot and also giving them the opportunity to converge straight to the mines to get the rest of the skulls. And in terms of like damage, let's have a quick look at what exactly the leaderboard says here. I mean, as you can see, we have Lucifron and the Arthurs doing a great job with the damage, actually even out DPSing his brother that could rely on the Storm. We have Vala with a 10k, that's going to increase just exponentially now that she's going to be able to use her strafe ability for the DPS. Sefkaja is doing a great job with 15,000 leading the ranks right now in terms of DPS. Stitches with the slam build, I mean, we've talked about this already. It's just a great hero to utilize. And in regards to the healing, we have 9,000 on Rhaegar, doing a great job here. Down at the bottom, Malfurion with another 11. And interestingly enough, we have 3,000 already on Sonya, really relying a lot more heavily on Whirlwind than you would usually see in the game. So far, really interesting match between the two of them. Very, very even. Level 11 versus level 11. Both teams still rely on 4 forts. So let's just jump into the rest of the match and see how that's going to work out. As mentioned before, the bottom of the mines, like you're down under, we have now Whipshout and Lucifron trying to go for the skulls. They want to have that big golem, and currently things are looking pretty good. A lot of momentum gained thanks to the last fight. That really helps them a lot here, and it's now on the big task is going to be for Team Empire to really bounce back from this. They know they have to deal with the big golem. There are no mercenaries up at the above, so it's a bit tricky for them. The last mercenary camp was just now taken, so they can't really push with that. Only the golem down here still survives, and he has of course the rest of the skulls. So Empire is now looking for an opportunity to even out the score and gain their momentum back. But we have down at the bottom here also the double mercenaries that are starting to push back. A 5-man for Team Empire, at least that's what it's looking like. Yes, Zagara is also moving down to the bottom of the map now. And, well, El Nexo is ready. They're just waiting for it. They're waiting for the opportunity here. What is Tyrell going to do? Well, we're going to see the engagement. Is Sonya going for the leap? It looks like it. Sonya leaps on the Zagara. And there's the immediate burst on the Zagara. Zagara moving back, being healed by the Rhaegar with the Ancestral Spirit. The Maw catching 3 heroes. Here comes Vala with the DPS. Oh my god, not even interrupted. Stitch is about to die once again. He goes down and Sonya catches Rhaegar, drops him as well. 2 heroes down. Tyrell is trying to escape, managing to do that, but Marco Win on the Zagara has no chance of escape. Sefka is trying to at least kill Vala, but oh my god, Vala moves back with barely 20 hit points. A great move here by Vala. Sefka a bit unfortunate. 4 players down once again on the side of Team Empire. El Nexo, the Spanish Armada, is moving in. The brothers are fighting, and down at the bottom in the mines we have once again Lucifron and Whipshout going straight for the golem. They know that they have ample opportunity now to take the rest of the skulls, and that will give them a lot of pushing power there. Level 13 versus level 12 at this point. And Enro doing a lot of DPS in the last battle, even surviving it. Sefka was hard on his heels, but could not really drop the squishy range DPS hero. It was just too much firepower here. Very good engagement that we saw from Team El Nexo, and yeah, that was just way too much DPS. Also a big problem that Vala got her entire ultimate in. There was no stun that we could see, no interrupt, no nothing, and that was of course a big problem that they had to deal with there. So very well played by Nexo, and now things start to look a little bit grim for Team Empire. I mean, they're still in a position where they are 2 levels behind, 1 level behind, not too much, but it's a significant lead that we still see there with a big golem. Talking about the golem, we're going to jump into a player view once again to let you know what exactly the golems are. 83 versus 17, that's what we're currently looking at. 83 versus 17%, and that means of course a massive golem here for Team Nexo. They're most likely going to push with that. The rule of thumb is if you have the bigger golem, you want to push with it. There are of course exceptions to the rule, but whoa, another stomp! Stitch is going down. The engagement by Vala with a stun. Very well done here. Sefka with OD form. Sefka is trying to move back, but he's going down. No, Rhaegar with the heals in the last second and helping him out here with the ancestral healing too, but it's still a 5 versus 4, and that golem is mercilessly marching towards the building. The Maw is trapping Whipshout for now. We have the Storm going down once again by the brothers. Tyrell being eliminated, and Rhaegar dropping to another 3 heroes killed on Team Empire side. Only Marco in and Sevka surviving here, and another Ancestral Spear going straight for Sevka. This is bad news for Team Empire. They are down 1 level still, the 16 hitting soon for El Nexo. That will give them an extra talent, and that golem is already making its way towards the last 4, and there's very little they can do about it. Sevka being dropped here in the last second. Tigers going down. Oh, this is just bad at this point. I mean, we have Fabio back to business, but what can he do at this point? Using a few of his slams that might help him, trying to maybe go for a hook, but it's very difficult from the way that we are seeing Team El Nexo position themselves, and they are eager for another kill. Maybe they can jump in once again. We have even Vala now attempting to move back apparently to maybe defend all the way at the bottom. Not really doing it. Here comes another. Oh, the leap. Oh, he gets another stun off. Fabio is being attacked here. They are dropping Fabio again, and here comes Vala. Look at that DPS. Vala not interrupted at all. Drops the Tyrell and Zagara. Ender with just so much damage. Beautiful positioning by the Vala here. And of course a little bit lackluster not being interrupted there, but still waiting his turn and then using Strafe to its fullest extent. And this push with the Knights as well. This is just way too much. 4 heroes are down. Sevka, the only one to survive. They go straight for the core, and this looks like it's gonna be game. And there's the GG as we have it dropped. So great job here that we saw on side of Team El Nexo. They take the 1-0 lead in the best of 3, and we're gonna have another closer look at the talents that were picked at the end before we jump straight into game number 2. As you can see, we have Stitches even going for that stun, but he didn't stun Vala once, so that was a big problem there. We have then later on, in terms of healing, this is an interesting pick. The wind shear being used here on 13 is something that you don't see all that often. Gives him a bit more, mobility on the map and also the heal. So a lot of sustain here for the Sonya on El Nexo's team. But in general, just a very solid composition that we saw there. Very well played by El Nexo. If you look at the stats themselves, that's a 30,000 damage already on the Vala, thanks to the ultimate. Tychus, on the other hand, for Team Empire, leading the board with 35k, but in the end, with 3 deaths, he couldn't do too much here. 20 kills against 17, so a very nice composition that we saw, and very crucial was the engagement by Sonya. I mean, 11,000 healing for her. That's also because of the ability that you choose at the end with the additional heal that we see there. So very well done. The sustain great, and all those ultimates, the leaps that we saw, initiating one fight after another, helping the team out a lot. 38,000 heal on the Malfurion, definitely leading the ranks with that. So a very good combination and a great victory for El Nexo in this first map of the best of 3. Keep in mind, boys, that we are going to see a lot more games over the next few weeks. If you want to catch all of those videos, you should definitely subscribe to the channel. You can hit the subscribe button that you see there right now. And of course, like the video if you enjoyed the match. And you're always welcome to give me feedback in the comments. We're going to go into game number 2. There should be a link on screen for you in just a few seconds that you can click to jump straight into that second video. I hope that you enjoyed the first one. And let's find out in the second game if El Nexo takes it with a 2-0 or if Team Empire is able to come back into this best of 3 series.